Good morning. It is Monday, July 8th, and that means two things. My mom's French, so we only celebrate Bastille Day. And it's time for the Lighting Industry News Brief brought to you by Keystone Technology and the Aviva Wafer Thin Retrofit Trim. You know what? It's great. You know, it keeps a lot of the functions of a can, socket connections, multiple sizes, multiple styles, but still with power select, color select, keeps your SKUs limited and your options open. Visit the link in the description, but otherwise KeystoneTech.com. Let's get into the news. Sonepar has bought Robertson Electric. This is a 19-location distro deal closing in Canada with no details on price or personnel changes. eCall has bought Independent Electric Supply. One's in Toronto, the other's in Alberta. Again, no details on price or personnel. Signify is planning on spending $50 million to build a new production facility in Egypt. That was confirmed after a series of meetings in Cairo this week. The U.S. Department of Transportation has announced $123 million in new grants for airports, including runway lighting, exterior lighting, safety grants all around. The National Lighting Bureau has opened submissions for the Lighting Transformations Award. There are new categories open. Submissions are due the 29th of August. A Design has named their winners. This is for a number of design categories, but 6 luminaires were recognized. The IES NYC has a new mentorship program. You can join the Guiding Light Circle as a mentor or a mentee if you fill out an application. Get a Grip on Lighting talks lighting design this week. Check out getagriponlighting.com to talk about intentionality. But otherwise, Foshan Electrical has announced a new dividend with 1.2 yuan per 10 shares going out this summer. Rogers Corp has set new carbon goals with a net zero plan for 2030. They make a number of electronics, including LED wafers. OSHA may expand to cover heat. This is a proposed rule that outlines protections for both indoor and outdoor workers under high heat conditions. Canada already has this. If you're indoors, it's pretty tame. But again, a thing to keep in mind. Texas has partially blocked the U.S. Federal Trade Commission non-compete ban, with a state judge claiming that they have overstepped their initial mandate. Remanufacturing 6,000 office fixtures has saved 8 tons of steel. This is one office tower in London, saving 8 tons of steel just by repurposing existing fixtures. This is part of a circular economy plan in the UK. Wesco is a great place to work, according to the Great Places to Work consulting firm, a firm you can hire to go through a course that will then tell you that you're a great place to work if you do what they do at the end of consulting. In legal news, the National Association of Wholesalers has launched a new legal action center. If you haven't been following the news too closely this week, the Supreme Court overturned the Chevron doctrine, which is sort of this umbrella legislation that covers a lot of consumer protections, environmental protections, and now there are a bunch of laws that are now open to relitigation individually. And if you are a wholesaler, you can join this legal action center to push on a law you might want reconsidered. More details for people who care about them in the link. Pinchot has filed a patent lawsuit against Coolidge. This concerns acoustic-controlled fixtures. A court has ruled in favor of Signify in the case versus Menards, the chain of hardware stores. Their products have been, in fact, found to be infringing on 6 patents. We have some progress in Kennel v. Cooper and Eaton. A judge has approved the contract and patent complaints, but has denied their failure to mitigate damage claims. We also have the Lighting Defense Group challenging an Amazon patent program with new filings on the federal circuit. In events news, you can still sign up for Nailed's annual convention in August. That's on the 19th in St. Paul. I will see you there. I might not talk to you. I'm very shy. We have a webinar on the 24th of July for lighting for food and beverage facilities presented by Grundfos and Endres and Hauser. Penumbra is offering online classes in the form of webinars about controls this July. We have the ILP offering a mental health training day. This is the Institution of Lighting Professionals. This is going alongside the Centenary Lighting Summit they are hosting later in the year. In IoT news, LG has bought Anthem. They've bought 80% of the shares of a smart home vendor. They make the Homey Hub. They'll probably buy the other 20% in the next year or two. Tuya has partnered with ITAN with new smart home development in Thailand. Zaga has embraced the right to repair with new features and functions in their particular codes to improve indoor luminaires for service, not just replacement. Nike, the shoe company, is ending support for their sneaker app. That's right, the Internet of Shoes is over. Their self-lacing, illuminated Adapt sneaker line, which had a phone app you could control your shoelaces and your shoe lights with, is now limited to manual controls. The Lighting Controls podcast, still talking to Margaret Wong and Stephen Zhou. Get connected with them. Michigan is now home to the smartest highway in America. The I-94 in the state has monitors every 200 meters. iLamp Texas is seeking franchisees. They're a smart lighting company mostly concerned with infrastructure, municipal projects, and they are looking for business partners. And Google admits that they will not be able to reach their carbon goals. Their current AI projects have put them 50% higher in emissions than they planned. I say this because the Institute for Future Education says that large model algorithms will improve energy use in schools. Their study believes that AI, machine learning, generative projects, and other such things could save 30% of CO2 emissions. A lot of people think that switching over to Spotify is better than buying vinyl because vinyl is a petroleum product and it can only use virgin materials. But Spotify doesn't disclose what their emissions of their data centers are. That's probably related. The University of Osaka has developed a metal-free phosphor. That's right. The thionyl diketone has set an efficiency record for converting light between colors. Ain't that something? A private company in China, the Ningbo VET Energy Tech Group, has developed a third generation of gallium nitride semiconductors with new, wider bandgap materials coming to lighting, displays, and all number of electronics. On the dark side of things, we have Softlights petitioning the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, for new LED regulations. We'll see how that goes. We have a new call to improve sleep quality in children's hospitals. Eindhoven University has proposed a new treatment for daylight savings related lag. And the Øvre Pasvik National Park in Norway, I have pronounced at least two of those words wrong, is the first dark sky park in Norway. Warrumbungle National may be Australia's first night sky park, and we can talk about the balance of decorative lighting and ecology on the Samuel de Champlain Bridge. Also, a single resident of Great Neck, New York, has been moving ahead with an injunction on LED lighting that's moving forward through the courts. Simultaneously, the Board of Trustees of Great Neck, New York, have passed a bond to buy more LED streetlights and exterior fixtures. Phoenix, Arizona is offering business owners a free crime prevention through environmental design advice program. Ashtabula County in Ohio Conservancy, a conservancy there, is hosting a bat education event. This is for people about bats. Bats are notoriously poor students. Part of it is just attendance. Some of it is just the nature of standardized tests. But moving on, Sanibel Captiva in Florida is celebrating their first confirmed loggerhead turtle nest in years. And in the UK, near Peterborough, the Longthorpe footbridge over the A47 road has picked 1,800K LEDs. That's right. This is an accessible footbridge that has the warmest lights I've ever seen in a public project. And while we're here, restoringdarkness.com, listen to the episode with Jess Stramer. She's a children's book author. Let's talk about fearing the light. In horticultural news, we have Dutch researchers working on growing soybeans indoors. Afterlife is growing mushrooms out of your food waste. And not your food waste, a grocery store's food waste. It's very different from your food waste in a lot of ways. And U.S. controlled environment agricultural production is up 56% over the past 10 years. In recommended reading, all these on nailed.org. You can talk about Wi-Fi for smart hospital rooms. We can have what red light devices do for your sleep. We have what people are overestimating about AI, large models, and generative modeling. We have building trust in outbound calling. We have a recap of the IALD conference. We have energy use in the US since 1776. We have a history of the Numatron bulb and what the actual history of 7-segment displays was. And we have a dissection of a solar light from Temu. In local news, $22 million in federal grants going to Nebraska. Ameren, Illinois staff actually volunteered, went without pay to replace poles in East St. Louis, Illinois. New Hampshire legislatures are pushing back on new energy codes. In Fort Madison, Iowa, housing authorities are receiving new security grants. In Lee County, Florida, the sheriff's offices have added purple lighting on purpose. These are indicate safe exchange zones for child custody or just trading things on Craigslist. We have $21 million in renovations for a historic Winnipeg community center in Manitoba. Billings, Montana is debating the costs and benefits of expanding street lighting into subdivisions. The Houston Metro is removing stripes from trains for safety because of how they interact with the light at railway crossings. Nelson County, Virginia has $2.5 million in street projects. We have a street lighting grant for Russell, Kansas. We have Calgary, Alberta adding new lighting to their municipal plaza. Georgia Power is revamping a lot of energy use at the U.S. Army Eisenhower Garrison. We have San Francisco, California, using lasers to set a record for the largest flag. Central Texans are being encouraged to add UV lighting to their homes to spot scorpions. And a single U.S. congressperson took time out of their entire work cycle to help add one streetlight to one corner to Staten Island to help a constituent. In sports news, Signify has partnered with Mercedes-AMG's F1 racing team to add human-centric lighting to their work and practice spaces. Are motorsports sports? I ask you, leave that in the comments. Internationally, Eco-Design for Sustainable Projects has been published in the official journal of the EU, which is the first step to it becoming policy. The Chinese embassy to Syria has donated solar lighting to the province of Damascus, starting with the city specifically around the embassy, but it'll build out as it goes. Tourism Mexico is planning new lighting for urban neighborhoods across the country. And in Uttar Pradesh, India, they are expanding their solar lighting network. And InnoScience, a Chinese group, is planning an IPO internationally. More details about share price when the paperwork goes through. People-wise, Majid Palavani has been named the Chief Technical Officer at Spark. And things that are weird or things you can make, we can talk about how Riverhead, New York's reskin of Monopoly features Revco lighting and electric supply. We have some LED fixtures that were designed to encourage reproductive behaviors in octopodes. You can hack your TV's backlight, you can jailbreak a smart bed, or you can build RGB wearables for your next PixMob party. This is like a rave, but the lights are all synchronized across all people. It's fun. We might do one at the NailedCon if I see you there and I'm not too shy. I've been Scott Walker. Thank you for your time, your attention. Thanks to Leadvance, Light Efficient Design, Espen, ETI, Keystone, and TED Magazine. I will see you in a week if you have a good one.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Twisting of the knife takes a second running back and forth and flip the right move and starts with something pulls me out of dirt. How much it aches to be feeling right about it. A million eyes don't see that it's all about it. Street patrol.